A warm greeting. Today is Sunday, August 4th, 2024. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. In this video, I would like to talk about a strong tropical wave approaching the Lesser Antilles and marked by the National Hurricane Center with a 20% chance of development as it moves across the Caribbean Sea. This tropical wave will bring heavy rain to the southern Lesser Antilles and may eventually pose a threat to Central America and the Yucatán Peninsula, where it could develop later this week. On another note, I briefly wanted to mention that we are providing special coverage for Tropical Storm Debbie, which is expected to strengthen into a hurricane before making landfall over northern Florida and affecting North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia with heavy rains and flooding. For more details on this forecast, I invite you to watch a video I recorded earlier today. Let's then focus on the region east of the Caribbean. Here, we have the strong tropical wave I mentioned yesterday, which is encountering marginally favorable conditions for organization when it reaches Caribbean waters. Since yesterday, this tropical wave has been developing strong thunderstorms despite the dry air present to the north of the axis. Due to the persistence of thunderstorm activity, the National Hurricane Center marked this area as a possible cyclonic development zone at 8 a.m. today. They currently maintain a 10% chance of development over the next 48 hours and a 20% chance over the next 7 days. Regardless of its development, heavy rain is expected for the southern Lesser Antilles over the next 48 hours. This is evident in the Doppler radar projection, showing rain affecting the region from today, Sunday, extending at least until Tuesday. So expect a few rainy days from Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Trinidad and Tobago. Predictions indicate between 75 to 100 millimeters of rain over the next 48 hours. Although we don't project it will become a tropical depression in this area, the best chances for development seem to be at the end of this week when it is just east of Nicaragua or north of Honduras. Currently, the tropical wave is surrounded by a lot of dry air to the north of the wave axis, which significantly lowers the chances of development over the next 2 days. However, this wave will be moving over very warm sea surface temperatures in the Caribbean Sea, which could help moisten the atmosphere and continue developing thunderstorms over the wave axis. Temperatures in this region are at record levels, as shown in this image. Currently, sea temperatures in the Caribbean are higher on average than we saw last year in 2023, and well above the peak typically reached in September and October. Another hindrance to rapid development is that this tropical wave is moving very quickly westward at 20 miles per hour, which is also a limiting factor for development. However, conditions across the Atlantic have become more favorable for development due to a favorable phase of the Madden-Julian Oscillation moving over the Atlantic, creating a more favorable atmosphere for cyclones. It is projected that conditions will be even more favorable in the coming weeks, as a stationary wave establishes over the African continent and the Indian Ocean, creating extremely favorable conditions for development starting the second week of August. This means it's very likely this won't be the only tropical wave we'll be monitoring in the coming weeks. The arrival of this Madden-Julian Oscillation phase will also create very favorable conditions with low wind shear across the Caribbean Sea, which could also help this tropical wave develop when it reaches the western Caribbean waters. However, it is projected to pass very close to Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize, and the Yucatán Peninsula, which could interfere with its development, hence why the development chances remain low according to the National Hurricane Center's outlook. For example, the GFS model currently shows a strong low pressure developing north of Honduras by the end of this week, remaining weak due to interference with land. However, some members develop a tropical depression or tropical storm east of Belize and the Yucatán Peninsula, representing about 5% of the members, which is why the American model maintains very low development chances. On the other hand, the European operational model also shows a low pressure north of Honduras by the end of this week, without developing into a tropical depression due to interference with land in Central America. However, if this tropical wave somehow consolidates further north, it could have better development chances, as shown by the ensemble members of the European model. Some have a more northern trajectory, opening the opportunity for a tropical depression or tropical storm development over the weekend. Clearly, it is important for residents of Nicaragua, Honduras, Belize, the Yucatán Peninsula, and even western Cuba to stay alert to the evolution of this tropical wave. In fact, the European model members show a 60 to 70% chance of developing a tropical depression between Wednesday and Thursday this week. Here at Hurricane Info, I will continue to monitor the evolution of this tropical wave closely, so don't forget to check if you are subscribed to my channel. Go to the bottom of this video, click the red subscribe button, and then click the bell to get notifications when I record new videos. This week, I will continue the special coverage of future Hurricane Debbie and closely monitor the evolution of this strong tropical wave. Well, with this, I bid you farewell until the next video.